So how many more radiation treatments you got?
3. I'll be done on Monday.
How you feeling?
Well, I try to be cheerful about things because I think it helps, but I'm really hurting. It hasn't been too bad until this weekend. This last week is pretty bad. You told somebody that I looked like a Sunday roast. Real sore, stingy sore, and some tired, but not bad compared to what some people go through. So 3 more days and then I just get a heal and the cancer's all gone. The best news is that it's not genetic, so I don't have to worry about my daughter having to go through the same thing, or my sisters or my mom. That was probably the best news.
So you're almost done looking back at the whole thing. What are your thoughts?
Well, I've said all along that I've been lucky. For cancer, it hasn't been bad. A lot of people go through a lot worse, and probably the hardest thing about cancer is waiting. I had no clue how long it takes, even with, a solvable, treatable case like mine. It's been over a year now since I found the lump, and I'm not having reconstructive surgery, so that would take another couple months at least. Personally, I've learned to speak up for myself better and not just be a polite, dumb sufferer. They gave me medicine for anti-nausea, and I just had heard that chemo makes you nauseous, and so I was just dealing with it. They asked a couple weeks into it, how are you feeling? Is the nausea under control? And I says, no. And they said, oh, you should have said something. We've got stronger anti-nausea meds. So, just things like that. And if you've tried 3 different times, and I only have a couple veins left for you to try to get into, then get somebody else. No, you can't try again. You've blown all of them. So just little things like that I've learned to speak up for myself better. I still want to be polite and cheerful whenever I can, because they see a lot of suffering, and I don't need to add to that. But I will say, no, this isn't working for me. Let's try something different. I am more grateful than I can say. I'm getting kind of teary when I think about it, for compassionate and patient and skilled care. Nurses, doctors, everybody. I've had very, very few encounters where I was frustrated, and usually that was just because they are so overworked. I waited 4.5 hours in the wound care clinic, and I had to wait 3 weeks to even get into them because they were so bogged down and had problems. So I feel bad for them, and I'm really grateful for them taking good care of me. For cancer, I've not had it that bad. In over a year, I'd say I probably only had 6 weeks of that I was truly miserable, truly in pain, nasty. Other than that, it's wait and put up with mild pain, irritation, stuff like that. Being tired.
Have you noticed anything about yourself?
I can live through more pain than I thought I could. A lot more. I feel bad that having to have help and asking for it and all of that, but I'm grateful for it. I didn't want to make you and Annalyn work as much as you have for me. Like I said, I'm very grateful for it. Because I think out loud, I I think I complained a lot more than I wish I had, especially in front of Anna Lynn. Because it hurt, I said it because I thought it, and then I thought, oh, it's not that bad, you're getting through it, you're okay. And I feel bad that Anna Lynn especially has been a real trooper. She's been so sweet. The room that I ended up spending a lot of time in my chair, because a lot of times it hurt too much, I couldn't sleep lying down because of surgery, because of dreams, because of whatever. That room was going to be her bedroom. We had planned it, and then I got cancer, and I ended up with that room just because I needed a place to have my chair. And she has never complained about it, even though it was obviously a disappointment to her. In fact, she decorated it by bringing all these things that she knew I liked, and she improvised a little table by my chair and brought art supplies and food and anything she could think of that I might need and not want to have to get up for. She was really, really sweet, and has been. Like I said, I found out that I can get through more than I thought I could. And I've been really, really, really blessed, really taken care of by friends and family that were thoughtful at the I'd be in a miserable situation and somebody would drop in with just the right present or just the right words that I needed to hear. That's been really good. I've had a couple other friends that also have had chronic illnesses of one kind or another, and I've been able to text with them and make, sarcastic jokes and say how bad it really is that moment, or the opposite, how well I'm really doing. And it's been nice to have those contacts. I've made some really good friends, actually, because of the illness.
When you were first diagnosed, what do you wish you had known?
I wish someone had told me, speak up if the meds they give you aren't helping, because there are other meds, different or stronger, or I wish somebody had said that to me earlier. I kind of figured it out myself. The very best information that I had is your cousin Chris is a radiation oncologist. He's not in the area, so I didn't get to go to him, but he answered questions on the phone and sent a book that he is a contributor to and also the editor of, about cancer, and it was perfect because it had the vocabulary. It didn't dumb it down or just say, be cheerful and you'll be okay, but it also was very understandable for someone, I didn't have to get a medical degree, but it gave me the vocabulary, the understanding. I'm lucky that there are resources out there that I could research it myself and figure out things. I was very blessed. I never worried that this was a death sentence. When I'm waiting on a lab report, I didn't worry, oh no, is this going to be cancer, am I going to die, kind of thing. Because I knew I would get through it, it felt more like a bad root canal, something you don't want to do, but is going to make things better than anything else. That's one of the reasons why I say that cancer wasn't as bad for me as it is for most people, because I never, ever had the doubt, had the scare about was I going to survive. Never, ever did I have that problem. That was the best thing I could have had, is I knew I was going to be just fine.
Has this changed your plans for the future?
It's made me more interested in becoming a chaplain. I don't know yet whether I will do that, but I certainly feel like I have a connection with people, a different group of people. There is almost sisterhood among breast cancer survivors, but more than that, there is a connection with people who have known someone. Complete strangers during this have come up to me and said, oh, my wife had that, or I'm a survivor, 10 years, you can do it, keep fighting. When I was in the hospital after the double mastectomy and I was walking around the halls, a guy I'd never met before, he wasn't a hospital employee, he was just walking down, I assumed to see someone else, walking past me, and he said, "You go, sister, keep fighting." It was obvious that I'd had surgery and that I was bald. Made a difference, felt really good. If I can reassure someone, if I could tell them this is what it feels like to be tattooed for radiation, this is what the possible side effects are. If I can help somebody else, then that's wonderful. Makes me feel good. I've been able to talk a few times with different people, mostly family members, that were waiting on people that were getting radiation done. And for one that only spoke Spanish, I was so grateful for my attempt to speak Spanish to him, to talk to him about his wife. Was so thrilled that I would try, even though I did a very poor job. I find that people that are in that situation are more willing to talk about their religious beliefs. They're more open to talking to strangers. When, like I said, I had people come up to me all the time in grocery stores, stuff like that, and, you know, talk to me about their relationships to cancer or to illness, or that's been a good experience. If I can do more of that in the future because of cancer, that would make me really happy.
Any last thoughts?
Cancer didn't change who I am, but it gave me more opportunities to slow down, think a little bit more, maybe. I would say being able to be cheerful and humor gets me through trials over and over again. My religious beliefs do. Probably the most personal, the worst hard thing that I heard during cancer is when I was told that reconstructive surgery wasn't going to be an option for me, or at least not a safe one. That was really hard because I knew my hair would grow back. Being bald wasn't fun, but my family made it fun because nearly all of them either buzzed or shaved their hair, and that was a big emotional thing. But losing my chest was a really emotional thing. I already didn't feel like a pretty person before all of this. Never have. Losing my long hair and my chest at about the same time made me, that was really hard to think of, and that news just was devastating. But since then, what I've found is, oh, I'm glad I have my falsies, my boobs, then I don't look as weird. I don't draw the attention. Personally, I've found that I'm used to the way I look, and I don't mind it. My husband still thinks I'm beautiful and loves me. That was a loss that was really emotionally hard, but I had so many health problems right after surgery that I wasn't able to get my falsies very fast. It was months. And like I said, I got used to me being this way, mostly. My hair grew back and came back really silvery gray, much more gray than before. With my flat chest and my big stomach, I said at first that I felt like a silverback gorilla. Pretty masculine, pretty old. But I've gotten more used to that, and I don't mind the gray at all. I think it's kind of pretty. I'm ready to have long hair because that's who I feel like I am after so many years. I'm pretty okay with it. Much, much more than I thought I ever would be. I thought this would be psychologically a hard thing for a long time, and I'm pretty good. hair grows back. I would tell somebody in the situation, complain when you need to, laugh when you can, and take advantage of the opportunity and the time that you have to express love to those that you love.